Communication. So when we talk about relationship with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, yesterday was about, anybody remember? Ikhlas, sincerity. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala doesn't look to your bodies, doesn't look to your image, your style, He'll look at your heart. إِنَّ اللَّهَ لَا يَنْظُرُ إِلَى صُوَرِكُمْ وَلَا أَجْسَامِكُمْ وَلَكِنْ يَنْظُرُ إِلَىٰ قُلُوبِكُم. Today, the point that I want to talk about in relation to the relationship with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is ad-du'a. And this is the way that we communicate with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And this is a very important element in our relationship with Allah. That we always connected to our Lord through the dua. When Allah talks to us, He sends revelation. Quran, like what you heard me say, Ya ayyuhal ladina amanu, Ya ayyuhan nas, in the Quran. But when you want to communicate with Him, that's when the dua comes, that you raise your hand, or without even raising your hand, with your heart, with your mind, with your tongue, you turn to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. وَإِذَا سَأَلَكَ عِبَادِي عَنِّي فَإِنِّي قَرِيبٌ أُجِيبُ دَعْوَةَ الدَّاعِ إِذَا دَعَانِ. That Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and this is something very unique in this relationship, there is no mediator when it comes to dua. There is no one in the middle, no prophet, no saint, no priest, no sheikh, no imam, no dead, no life, nobody. You and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala immediately. قُلْ مَا يَعْبَأُ بِكُمْ رَبِّي لَوْلَا دُعَاؤُكُمْ. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, ادعوا ربكم تضرعا وخفيا. And Allah, when He praised even the Prophet and Messenger, He said about them that they used to supplicate to us, they used to invoke, they used to pray to us so much with hope and fear in the same times, with hope and fear in the same time. And the Prophet ﷺ says, لَيْسَ شَيْءٌ أَكْرَمَ عَلَى اللَّهِ مِنَ الدُّعَاءِ. There is nothing that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala honor more than a-du'a. To the extent He also said in Hadith, Abi Dawood, ad-du'a huwa al-ibadah. Ad-du'a is the essence of ibadah. It's the essence of ibadah. It's the real meaning of worshipping Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Because when you make dua, when you ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, when you pray to your Lord, you're just realizing the true nature of you as the one who is in need. And the true nature of God as the one who is the all good, the source of all good, the giver, the one who basically capable of anything. But this is not only what I want to say tonight to you. This is something maybe you hear it in everywhere. But my message today may be more specific than just the dua. What type of dua that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala loves the most? That I want you to learn tonight. What I call it bold dua. Be bold in your dua. Don't just make a dua. When you make a dua, that's something very unique about your relationship with Allah. When Allah wants you to pray to Him, He wants you to ask for the best. Not for just to survive. Not for just for the minimum. When it comes to dua, you have to aim high. That's why the Prophet ﷺ taught us by saying, when you ask Allah in Jannah, you're not just asking Allah in Jannah just to survive, to enter it. Even if you're the last one to enter. No, He said, ask Allah al-firdaus al-a'la. Ask Allah the highest level of Jannah. And this is only in one example, it's not restricted to this. You have to learn how to be bold in your dua, to be strong. That's why even when you ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala something, you don't say, oh Allah, if you will, if you wish. The Prophet ﷺ قال, إِذَا دَعَا أَحَدُكُمْ لَا يَقُلْ اغْفِرْ لِي إِنْ شِئْتِ وَلْيَنْسِمْ فِي مَسْأَلَتِهِ. You be firm in your request. You ask for the best with certainty. Now I call the bold when you ask for dua. With respect, but you have so much firm in your heart. You aim very high when you make dua. You know what? It is not ever was hard for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to give you all these things that you were dreaming, one day you were dreaming about. And maybe you let your dream go because you thought it's not going to happen. You know what you need to do? You need to go back to these dreams and to start asking Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala again for it. Be bold, as I said. Umar radiallahu anhu arba, the Khalifa of the Muslimin. He knows that he cannot anymore lead a battle in the battlefield. With this, he still says, radiallahu anhu arba, he said, Allahumma rzuqni shahada warzuqni al-mawta fi madinati Rasulih sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. You might say, what kind of dua is this? You want to die as shaheed and die in Medina? I mean, if you want to fight, you have to be outside of Medina. That's right, today is Shaheed. He want the Shahada to come to him. He is bold in this dua. I believe it's very strong. He want both to happen to him. And guess what? Allah give it to him. Look at his son, he learned from him. Ibn Umar radiallahu anhu. One of the dua that I caught him saying, he said, Allahumma ja'alni min a'zami ibadika nasiban min rahmatik wa min rizqika alladhi tarzuqu ibadaka hadhihi al-layla. Oh Allah, let me the one who will benefit the most from your mercy tonight. See how bold is this? Make me the one who benefit the most from every provisions that you seek today. So many times we let things go. We don't ask for it. We're not insisting for it. I like what one person put it once. He said, it's like when you, if you imagine, this is just something to imagine. In the heavens, there is these big, huge storage for each and every one of us. And maybe you found your storage and you walk into that storage place. And you find in it cabinets and boxes and places full of things for you. This is the healing that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has prepared for you. And this is the promotion that you deserve. And this is the breaks that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala was supposed to give it to you. And this is the favors of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, here and there. But guess what? You will say, where is all this? I didn't receive them. Yes, Habibi, you didn't receive them because you never asked for them. You only asked to survive just a little bit. You're dealing with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, you're dealing with a human being. That's why always don't ever give up in your dua. Don't ever give up in your dua. There is a great Muslim scholar, his name Abu Muawiyah al-Aswad. كان من عباد الله الصالحين، كان رجل صالح, one of the righteous people among the early Muslim generation. He lost his sight, subhanAllah. They said the only time he was able to see anything when he opened the Mus'haf. He can see the letters of the Quran. That's the only time his sight will come back to him. كان لا يرى شيء إلا إذا نظر في المصحف يقول أرى حروفا. One time in one of the battles, the Muslims were suffering in one of the battles. Why? Because one of the Romans was basically on the top of that castle. Very good, he's an archer and he's very good. Every time a Muslim tried to proceed to come closer, he will shoot. He killed so many of the Muslims. So Abu Muawiyah said, what's happening? For many days we're still in the same place. He said, this guy in the top, every time somebody tried to sneak or to come closer to the place, he killed him. He said, give me the, basically, al-qaws wa as-sa. Give me the arrow and I will shoot him. Just tell me the direction. He can't see. He can't see. Then when he aimed towards him, he said, Oh Allah, وَمَا رَمَيْتَ إِذْ رَمَيْتَ وَلَكِنَّ اللَّهَ رَمَى. It's not about to mean that I will basically be able to shoot him. I ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to guide me to get that person and to kill him. Then he said, where do you want the arrow? Not only he asked him, where do you want it? Where do you want it? قالوا في ملاكيه. They said we wanted to come in basically under his navel and his base in a place where it will come. Then he said, oh Allah, you heard what they request. Oh Allah, I ask you to make it happen. قال فوالله فأصابه فيها. He shot him and exactly the arrow went to the same place that he supplicated Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That's what I call a bold person when it comes to dua. That attitude is needed when it comes to dua. Don't ever feel that you cannot ask for what you want. So that's something to remember when you build your relationship with dua. Ask Allah the best. Don't ever settle for the less, because you're dealing with the most generous subhanahu wa ta'ala. قل ما سمعتم استغفر الله